It's account review time! Hey everyone, Shark here, and we got some overwhelmingly positive responses for account reviews. There are literally hundreds of submissions and it will take me a really long time to get through them all, so please be patient. In the meantime, make sure to watch these videos because even if it takes a while for me to get to your specific account, the information here is still valuable to understanding how to build characters and how to put a team together. And obviously, since there are a ton of accounts to review, you can check the other account review videos that I'll have in a special playlist for an even better understanding of how to build characters, teams, and progress your account. With all that being said, it is a lot of work to review literally hundreds of accounts, so if you could like the video, it would really mean a lot to me. It takes hours and hours of work for me, but all I need is a quick tap of that thumbs up button from you. And now that you've liked the video, let's jump into the account reviews. Alright, account review time. Let's see. The first person to submit does not have a UID that they posted here, it's just a bunch of question marks. Make sure to put your UID in. You can resubmit another form. Just make sure to add this because otherwise I have no way to review your account, so we got to skip this one unfortunately. Alright, next person just wants some general advice on how to make their team stronger, and they put their UID here, so let's go over and get that. Oh, and we've run into another problem. It says on the form that you have to enable show character details, but these are all hidden, so unfortunately we're going to have to skip Step Bro as well. Sorry, Step Bro. Alright, we're off to a fairly quick start, but let's see if we can actually do a real account review. This person just wants some general tips. They want to use Hu Tao, and here's their UID. Perfect. Let's see what they've got. Alright, Beru, we do have a real account to review this time. So we've got AR46, Hu Tao, Yaoyao, Xingqiu, and Xiangling. Let's take a look at these characters real quick. Alright, not bad, not bad. So first things first, your Hu Tao does look pretty good. Her talents are a little low. I would want to get these up a little bit higher, but your overall stats are actually really nice. Dragon's Bane's really good for her. She does not need the emblem set. In fact, you can put some of these pieces on Xiangling or Xingqiu if you need better artifacts for them, and you can give her just kind of whatever. And by whatever, I mean 4-piece Crimson Witch, 4-piece Shiminawa, or like some 2-piece HP sets, EM sets, something like that. Hu Tao cares more for overall substats than any particular set bonus, so just give her the best combination of stats that you can find. But your artifacts here do look pretty decent. I would definitely level up your Feather and your HP Sands. You can get these to 16, you don't need to take them all the way to 20. If they roll well at 12, you can keep going. If they don't roll well at 12, just keep them there. And then if you get a better piece, take the artifact that you have that's not very good, and then roll it into the better artifact. You'll retain a lot of the artifact experience, and then you can have a better artifact and not really waste any artifact experience. Now let's take a look at Yaoyao. White Tassel Yaoyao. If you're going to run her HP, you would want to run a black tassels because that is HP, and it'll make her healing basically deal a lot more, because it doesn't look like you're building her for damage. It looks like you're building her more for healing because of the Maiden set. You've got Healing, Dendro, Attack. If you really want to push her healing, go Healing bonus, HP. If you wanted to build her for damage, you could focus more on Elemental Mastery. But overall, not a bad Yaoyao. Getting her skill and burst is really the important things. Her skill and burst are what do all the healing. And you don't need to level her normal attacks because you're not using her on field. You're just throwing out the button, switching off, making sure everyone gets healed, and that's basically Yaoyao. And while it isn't necessary, I like to build a lot of energy recharge on her as well. You don't need to use her burst off cooldown. It's more like an emergency button because it just heals the party so much. Her little bunny skill is typically enough to keep everyone healed. But if you do want to use that and have a reliable way to use her burst, make sure that you build more energy recharge onto her. So again, for Yaoyao, more HP, give her a black tassels instead of a white tassels. If you have a Favonius Lance, also a pretty good option for her. I also personally really like running a 4-piece Deepwood Memory set on her. That's the Dendro damage set. It's really nice because she's typically in a support role, and that allows her to shred Dendro resistance, so you can have a character like Nahida or Alhaitham run a Gilded set, which is really, really nice. That way, Yaoyao is not only your Dendro healer, but if you pair her with another Dendro character, she can help activate Dendro Resonance, and the characters that are going to deal Dendro damage can deal more with it with the Gilded set than they can with a Deepwood set. But if you don't have a Deepwood set user on your team, you need a Deepwood set user on your team, so if you don't use Yaoyao with them, then you have to run Deepwood anyways. However, since it's often much better to run something like a 4-piece Guild of Dreams on a Dendro damage dealer, you want to make sure that you have the Deepwood Memories somewhere on your team, so if you can give it to Yaoyao and if you're using her in a Dendro team, it's really nice. Based on the characters you have displayed, you're obviously not running a Dendro team, but just keep that in mind for the future. Next, let's take a look at Xingqiu. C2, nice, power constellation, 6'6", 2862, 180. Okay, overall substats are pretty good, and you've got a 3-piece emblem on him, so you just need one more for a 4-piece. Your artifacts, you've got crits, you've got attack percent, feather flower, okay. You really want a hydro damage goblet on him and an energy recharge sands. Your ER is actually a little bit low for C2. Even though you have a sacrificial sword, it's not super consistent at R1. It's way more consistent at R3. That way you can reliably proc the passive. However, it looks like he's a little work in progress. You definitely want to build him up to make your Hu Tao a little bit stronger, but he's not bad right now. Just as long as you can get his burst up consistently off cooldown, it'll make your Hu Tao hit way harder. So for Xingqiu, the first thing I do is probably level up his weapon. Level 40 is pretty low. You want to get this higher. The damage isn't necessarily what you're looking for here because the sacrificial sword is fairly low on the damage side, but the energy recharge is really nice. The higher level this goes, the higher the energy recharge will go. So leveling up the sword will help his ER problems quite a bit. After that, I'd probably level up his talents first. The artifacts are low-hanging fruit, but they're also very RNG, whereas if you do a talent domain, you're guaranteed some form of progress, so focus on leveling up his skill and burst after you level up his weapon. Then after that, I'd move on to the emblem domain, try to get a nice flower here, try to get an energy recharge hands potentially, and try to get a hydro damage goblet as well. And since you build Xingqiu with so much energy recharge anyways, the emblem set is really nice on him. Next, let's look into Xiangling. Alright, here's the first thing that I'm going to say about Xiangling, and you're probably not going to like this. Go to Inazuma and fish for the catch. It is a really, really good spear for her. You might hate fishing, but it is absolutely worth it. The prototype star glitter is not bad, but the catch is free, doesn't require any billets or anything like that for refinements, and it's really, really good on Xiangling. Beyond that, she is very energy recharge hungry too, and when you decide that you're going to go for artifacts for Xingqiu, go for artifacts for Xiangling too, because you can use the artifacts that are left over from Xingqiu and give them to Xiangling, because she also wants the Emblem of Severed Fate artifact set. In fact, now that I think about it, your flower here is actually really nice, so give this to Xingqiu because it's got crit, energy recharge, and attack percent. Then you can take this, swap it over to her. Now your Xingqiu has a 4-piece set, and he's a lot better than he is now. But artifacts should not be your primary focus for Xiangling right now. Your first thing you should do is level up her Pyronado. This is her most important ability, so you want to level that up, and then also fishing for the catch. The best thing about fishing is it doesn't require any resin, it's just a time commitment. So when you're done farming for the day, and if you don't really have anything else to do, fishing is a good option to get you a really nice 4-star weapon. So what I recommend for you is when Xingqiu's talents and his weapon ascension materials are available, farm those domains. I believe he needs gold, and I think those are available on Wednesdays. I don't remember what the sacrificial sword weapon enhancement materials or weapon ascension materials are. And then when you're not farming those ascension materials for Xingqiu's talents or his weapon, I would park yourself in the emblem domain. You want emblem for Xingqiu and Xiangling, and you can use Shiminawa's 4-piece on Hu Tao. Even though it costs you energy to use, you can typically build up enough energy so that you can use Hu Tao's burst at the end of her rotation, provided you have a decent amount of energy recharge. And if you don't, you always have Yaoyao as an emergency healer. But overall, your account's pretty good, just do a few of those things and it will improve quite a bit.